Hi. Can you believe that it's almost the end of 2023? That's insane. You gotta admit that is insane. That is absolutely insane. Welcome to my little pre-recorded video of my end of 2023 greetings for you guys, my villains. Let me just get a little closer. That should do it. Hold on. Yeah. You like my ears? My ears are very cute. Congratulations on making it to the very end of 2023. That's insane. I mean, you gotta really imagine just how long a year really is. 12 months is not a short amount of time, and honestly, I'm surprised. I don't even know how I got through all of it myself. let alone the past, however long I was alive. So, congratulations are definitely in order. I gotta ask, was 2023 everything you imagined? I hope so. I hope that 2023 was everything you imagined and hoped for, and more. But in the case that it wasn't, I completely understand. My 2023 was perhaps one of the most tiring, confusing, and frankly a little well, it's my scariest year. It's the year when I fully immersed myself in NIJISANJI, and bluntly speaking, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that kind of made me feel like I wonder, was this really the right choice? And no, I'm not saying that, oh, NIJISANJI is a bad company. No, I think that's the stupidest thing anyone could really even say. It's more like the decision I made to join NIJISANJI. Was that really the right decision? That thought, that potential regret has been plaguing my mind for the entire year. Because as much as NIJISANJI is a really cool job, it's also an uncertain one. Believe it or not. And frankly speaking, it would be nice if I could just keep doing this forever and ever, and maybe I will. I'm not saying that I won't, but at some point there is going to be, a time where I think, maybe this won't pay my bills anymore. Or maybe I want to do something else. And that uncertainty, that the fact that I'm spending a lot of time on this instead of, say, other things like my studies or, job searching, things like that, it made me worry. And I apologize if this is a downer to anyone, but I wanted to share what has been going through my head because, well, I trust you guys. And I really do rely upon you because while 2023 was definitely a year of disappointment sometimes, a lot of uncertainty and a lot of worry, it was also the year that I really got to know you guys better. I debuted in late 2022, December. So December, I was like half December anyway, so it doesn't really count. So 2023 was really the year when I really got to know you guys better. I interacted with you on chats, on Twitter, and you guys supported me throughout, whether it be through Super Chats, Streamlabs, sending out gifts, drawing fan arts, planning incredible projects, writing songs, or just writing the nicest things I've ever seen in my life. Every regret that I have about potentially blocking certain paths by joining NIJISANJI is easily washed away by the realization that if I didn't join, I wouldn't have met you. And that upsets me. That scares me, that my life could have gone on without meeting you guys. And I don't think that's a life I would have liked living, because you, my villains, are the best thing that ever happened to me in 2023. In fact, let me share you a story. For anyone who is in a similar boat like me, who went for a lot in 2023 and sometimes feel like, man, 2023 was a bad year. Here's a little story that I want to share. Have you ever heard of the constellation Cygnus? It's a very, very large constellation. In fact, it is the largest constellation, composed of, I believe it's like 250 stars. It's insane. That's a lot of stars. Cygnus is, I believe, derived from the Greek word for swan. And in Greek mythology, basically, this guy, his name is Cygnus, he talked to Zeus, asking him to transform him into a swan so that he could dive deep down into a river to save his friend. And to memorialize his bravery, Zeus puts up the shape of a swan, the stars that aligned into a swan, and immortalized Cygnus in the night sky. Multiple stars make up the swan, but each star makes up a specific parts of the swan. So for instance, the delta and epsilon Cygni are its wings. The Deneb, the brightest star of the Cygnus, is at its tail. The Albereo is at the tip of its beak. And I really like stargazing, as I mentioned to you, and to look up into the night sky and see the stars, I can't help but think, this is very much similar to who we are. And let me explain. I believe that as humans, our daily lives are composed of gathering bits, moments of happiness and sadness, ups and downs, successes, and failures. We take moments and moments and bits and pieces of this together. And those little moments shape who we are today. Just like how the stars compose specific body parts of the Cygnus, or of any constellation that you can think of, these moments form who we are. They compose specific parts of our life story, our being, our existence, and I think there is some beauty to that. And I think some stars definitely shine brighter than the others, and I'm willing to bet that you, my villain, know exactly which star within you shines more brightly than the others. And I think those bright stars are really what it's the core personality of who we are, what makes who we are, and I think that's beautiful. I think that every disappointment that we went through this year or the years past just adds up like one of those connected dots drawings that you do. It adds a star there so that it could connect to the next star and to the next star after that until we hit a bright, beautiful star, or we can confidently say, Dad, that star is who we are. That star is what makes us who we are. And I feel like every failure is a stepping stone to success. And I don't think that is a waste of time at all. I feel like 2023 goes by so quickly sometimes. Life and time goes by so quickly, but we are often afraid that we'll be left behind, but I don't think we have to be. I truly believe that each and every one of us goes at our own pace. And each failure will become building blocks into drawing this magnificent painting in the sky that we call constellations, but to us is our life. And for me, one of my brightest stars in my constellation, I am so proud and happy to say, is you. Meeting you, interacting with you, talking with you, having fun with you, laughing with you, and crying with you. When I'm down and when I'm sad, you were there for me. And hopefully when you are sad, I was there for you. You, my villain, is my brightest star. And you are my core personality in my beautiful constellation I call life. So thank you. Thank you for making my 2023 one of the most beautiful years of my life. Despite all the hardships and all the downsides that there might have been, it doesn't change the fact that this is the year that I got to know you guys so much better. And I'll never trade that for anything else in this world. And with that, let us say goodbye to 2023 with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yippee! So happy my tail is wagging. Happy New Year, my villains. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, yippee! Welcome to 2024. It's a lot brighter outside with you around. So, 2024. You guys feel like a new person yet? You know, the thing about New Year's in general, and I know this is gonna be a very depressing start to the New Year, but bear with me because it leads to something. I always feel like New Year's tend to be a little bittersweet, especially the older I get, because I know that this year is also gonna have some pretty bad moments. Some pretty disappointing, pretty upsetting moments. I know that. It's just a fact. And the thing is, villains, I think you guys know that too. There are gonna be moments that are upsetting. There are gonna be moments that are disappointing, and it's gonna suck. I know it. And I feel like, you know what? It's sad. But at the same time, though, I think there are ways to make it less sad. So, for instance, did you know that this 2024 is the Chinese New Year, the year of the dragon? In fact, specifically, it's the year of the wood dragon. The dragon is the luckiest and the most powerful and mystical animals in all of the Chinese zodiac. And wood tends to be a nourishing element. So combining the lucky elements of the dragon, the nourishing elements of the wood, it suggests that 2024 will bring evolution, improvements, and abundance. And it's the perfect time for rejuvenated beginnings and setting the foundation for long-term success, or at least that's what this website says. But if that's the case, then I feel like it's important, especially because you know that each year things are gonna happen that are out of our control. I think it's important to at least try to have a goal in mind, because when it comes to working or when it comes to improving ourselves, it's really important to have a specific goal in mind to work towards, and that's how you really improve. But at the same time, I also know that every time you set these New Year goals, it's very hard to actually, meet them. I think my 2023 goal is to get abs, and the thing is, I know I'm not the only one that's guilty of that. I know I'm not the only one that's guilty of that. But that's okay. So I feel like I want us to, both of us, all of us, to try to keep to maybe these specific goals at the very least. Because I remember I was on a car ride with my mother, and out of nowhere, she suddenly talks about, did you know, Ver, did you know, when you were a kid, your relatives would come by and they surrounded you and they asked you, Ver, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was a kid. I was like 2-3 years old. I barely knew how to speak. Now, for the relatives, they were like hoping I would say things like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. Yeah, imagine a child like that. It's probably 5 actually, but anyway. They were hoping I would say something, I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be a doctor, be an engineer, someone successful, someone, I don't know, like rich or something. And they're all sitting there just expectantly kind of waiting for me to say something. What my mother told me was, instead of saying any of that, what Kid Ver said was, myself. I want to be myself. When I heard that, I was thinking, wow, Kid Ver was based. It's a very smart kid. Very smart kid. In fact, I would even say Kid Ver is exactly who I want to aspire to become. Very confident kid. He knew what he wanted. I think in life, with everything that goes on, because life is frankly unforgiving. The world could very much be very cold, very scary. And with our busy lives, it is so hard to really keep the essence of who we are. I feel like every day is a struggle to protect ourselves, to protect ourself. Fundamentally who we are, fundamentally what makes up who we are. Protecting that bright star, that brightest star of our constellation, of our story, of our life, is so difficult. There are things we want to do, there are things we dream of, there are things we want to try, but we're scared of failure. We're scared of messing up, we're scared of things not going the way we want. And that fear is so legitimate. It's so understandable. It's so real, because I go through that every day. Every day, I'm afraid. And yet, Kid Ver, me, several decades ago, he, without a doubt, without a single worry in his head, he looked into those adults' eyes and said, I want to be myself. I want to stay and be myself. And I feel like, or at least I hope, he still lives inside me. And I hope that your kid self, that brave, confident kid self, still lives inside you. And that's why here are a few goals I want to set out for all of us, for us to keep for 2024. It's not that much, hopefully. So, my villains, I hope for 2024, you remember to be kind. Not just to others, but also to yourself. I want you to be smart. I want you to come to conclusions from your own reasoning. Not because others simply said so, but I want you to make your own educated conclusion and opinion. And once you do so, I want you to speak up. If you see something that is against your own morals, against your beliefs, speak up. Fight for it. Fight for your beliefs. But at the same time, I want you to be humble. I want you to always listen. Don't interrupt. Understand their perspective. Understand their side. And I think just those few things, can already make us a much better person. Because God knows that we need a lot more of that. We need a lot more kind, smart, brave, yet humble people in this world. My biggest mission to you all, and to myself as well, I want you guys to hold me accountable as well. So I want you to not be afraid of failure. And I know that's hard. But I want you all to try. I want you all to try. Go out there and get messy. I know that's scary. So hopefully, this will be a little bit of consolation, because I promise, you go out there and you trip, you fail, you blundered, you got bamboozled. When you're on the ground, I will be right there next to you. You can come to me, and I'll be here for you. And I'll wait for you. I'll stand there and wait for you until you have the strength and the mentality to get back up. And when you're ready to get back up, I'll be there to lend you a hand so that you can grab onto it, and I'll pull you right back up and say, it's okay to fail. That's okay. In fact, I think it's super cool that you tried. And if you're up to it, let's try again. And don't worry if it doesn't work out. I'll always be here for you, again and again, until the day you are content with yourself. And I'm always proud of you. So proud of you. We're trying. It's what makes you so beautiful. And the thing is, there's nothing to really be afraid of. I'll be here until the day you realize truly, deeply in yourself, that you'll do just fine. And I hope that you guys would be there for me, because God knows I need you guys. I need you guys so much. When I go out there and try something, when I go out there and explore the world, and when I trip, when I fall inevitably, because I know I'm gonna trip and fall again and again right beside you guys, I hope you guys will be there for me, to lend me a hand too. Because life is tough, especially when you're alone. But the thing that could fix that is love. And I roar you guys so very much. "2024 is going to be one heck of a year. I can tell you that. As I mentioned before, there will be downs. There will be disappointments. There will be upsetting moments. But always remember those small few goals that you and I agreed. That's right, you agreed to it now. To keep to. To be kind. To be smart. To be brave, but to be humble. And to always try. And perhaps, if we do keep to those small but important goals, then maybe this year will be pretty goddamn amazing. Happy New Year, my Villians. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I'll see you soon. My Villians.